All right, I think we're live. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live. Today, I am by myself. I am not accompanied by Mick Saltzy whatsoever. And yes, I will be eating on this live because I just spent the past 2-3 hours working out. And obviously, need nutrition. So, I can't believe that workout took so long. Today, I really just want to do like a Q&A. Style pots, live because I don't really have all that much time today to be on. But either way, we're doing it. Go live either way, no matter what. Does tea or coffee make your pots worse? Me personally, coffee for me doesn't affect me anymore. That's why I drink it again. But I'm 5 years post-diagnosis, 5 or 6 years, something like that. Tea, I don't really drink much tea, so I don't know. Green tea for sure not. I will say this, if I have like very high doses of caffeine at one time, that can affect my POTS syndrome. But just like a cup of coffee, I have a cup of coffee every single morning upon waking, after like accompanied with electrolytes and 46 ounces of water. That doesn't bother me, no. And green tea for sure is not bothersome. Chai tea too, chai lattes. I used to drink all the time. Nothing. But for most of my clients that have POTS, I do not recommend them consuming caffeine because it does affect a lot of people. And if you watched my live with Dr. Tyler Pansner, which I recommend you all should have watched if you have not already, I posted it as just a podcast too. If you haven't watched it already, I definitely recommend that you do watch that because he talked about something that was super interesting to me, and I didn't know about this at all, but that the brewing process of coffee actually raises histamine. So I didn't know that. It's an interesting take. Keep coming with the questions, guys. Keep coming with the questions. I'm making a video on this. Jeez, I need to slow down. I need to learn how to chew my food. I'm making a video on this, but I just got done running. And running was something that I was really nervous about today because last week, I had an episode of what's called a laryngospasm. And so I'm going to use this as an example for you guys today. But I had what's called a laryngospasm, right? And a lot of times people with POTS, we have like pretty intense health anxieties. And I have not had any health anxiety for a very long time now. But this thing happened where I went out for a run and I did a hard run. This is actually 2 weeks ago. I went out for a hard run. I was supposed to retest my 5K. I ended up getting 22 minutes and 57 seconds. And so then, after it was really tough. That's like, I don't know, it's like 7 something splits or 6 something. I don't know, whatever it is. I think it's 7 something, but my first mile I ran at like a 6:27 or a 6:30 pace. So anyway, when I get back in the gym, I'm dying. It's hot out. It's really humid. I'm right in front of a fan. And out of nowhere, my throat completely closes up. I could not breathe. I could not breathe to save my life. And it scared the crap out of me so much that like I was literally gasping for air. It wasn't one of those like POTS can't breathe. It was like I was having an allergic reaction type of like can't breathe, right? My throat was completely swollen. I was like, like that, actually making those noises. I'm like, oh my God, thinking I'm going to die in the next 20 seconds. So I ran to somebody who was like an EMT and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought you were going to have to save me because it like let go. So as you can imagine, I've been really hesitant to like work out at that intensity since then. But slowly but surely, I had to come to my senses, okay? I came to my senses slowly but surely and said, look, what are you going to do? Are you going to live in fear for the rest of your life and not be able to do the thing that you enjoy the most, which is working out at high intensities, and not live your life and, hold yourself back based on something that happened one time that scared the shit out of you? Oh, well, it's likely that this thing won't happen again. There's a chance that it could happen again. So what are you going to do? You're going to live your life in fear and not do things to the fullest and sit around and wait that maybe it happens again? Or are you going to not let it beat you, not let it defeat you, and keep doing things the same way that you've been doing things and do all the things necessary to try to prevent that from happening? And that's the same thing that I really encourage you guys to take, the same kind of mindset that I encourage you guys to take with POTS, because so often, like now, today, I went and did runs and I did it hard, and I learned that I don't know how to run slow whatsoever because I was supposed to run at like a 7:32 pace or whatever for a bunch of 400 meter repeats. I think it was like 16 400 meter repeats, and I ended up running sub 7 every single time, sub 7 minutes. But, I faced my fear. I went out and I did the thing and I drank water. I made sure that I was drinking water because what I think happened was that my throat, I remember thinking during the run 2 weeks ago, like my throat's really scratchy. I should stop for a sip of water. And I didn't do that. And then I felt like a tickle in my throat, and that's when everything happened. It just got irritated. So anytime that I felt that today, I stopped and I got a drink of water. And my program said rest as needed between my sets. So I rested as I needed and got my head right. And I faced my fears and I did the thing. And so often for people with POTS, it's the case that, we just don't face our fears, and people will wait and they won't make movement in the right direction. They won't take any steps necessary to like getting better because they're so scared that this is going to happen. This might happen. This is a part of the POTS. I'm waiting for this specialist. I'm waiting for this test. Always waiting. So what's going to happen is you're going to live your life waiting to die. And you're not going to die from this thing that you have, which is POTS syndrome. You're going to die just from waiting, from old age, and have never done anything in your life, have never tried to get any better from something that you can get better from. Instead of doing that, dude, face your fears. Start taking small baby steps. Like I've said a million times, walking from your bed to the fridge that counts as exercise. Getting steps in, that counts as exercise. Doing something slowly but surely, little by little by little by little. Don't live in fear. Don't let this ruin you. Don't let anything ruin you. You should think you are unbreakable. And if you guys go watch my video that I posted today, I talked to my girlfriend about what it's like having, dating somebody with POTS syndrome. And she said, she doesn't really have to like deal with it because there's nothing life-threatening. And all I do is ever just like mention the symptoms. I want you guys to know that I do still deal with symptoms. I do still deal with health anxieties. But I have been able to be blessed enough to realize that these are just anxieties. They're just thoughts, right? A lot of this is irrational fear. Most of it is not real fear. You shouldn't be living in fear over this. And it's really easy to use, these other things that accompany POTS, these other chronic illnesses that people talk about, post-exercise or post-exertional malaise. It's not a chronic illness, but it's an effect, or chronic fatigue, or fibromyalgia, and all these things. It's really easy to use those as reasons not to do stuff, but you should be doing something. I've got a client who's got like POTS, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, and he still crushes it. He still does everything that I ask him. We go slow. Our program is slow. It's progressive. It's methodical. We have a system to it. But he does it. All right. We're done eating. So yeah, I'm making a more in-depth video about facing my fears with running because of that experience. I'm currently filming it today. But yeah. You guys ask some questions. Give me some questions to work off of here. QQ says scary. Yeah, the experience was scary for sure. But like, again, you can't live your life in fear, right? Like you have to do something about it. You can't be the victim for the rest of your life. You can't be a victim for the rest of your life. You gotta learn how to deal with stuff. That's what adults do. That's what contributing members of society do. I have a banner coming on its way here. Counterculture banner. That's my podcast channel. The one that I actually go to events with, the podcast. And it's an 8x10. So it's like about the size of this wall. And it's 8 feet tall. I think it's that high. Or maybe a little bit taller than that. But I just got the 2 proofs for it today. One thing that I do want to work on today is getting a website done for the POTS stuff, because I need to put up client testimonials. I need a link for you guys to go check out my clients and, the work that I've done with them and things of that nature. So Jake Larson, hey mate, my girlfriend was diagnosed with POTS. She can't stand up for more than 5 minutes before feeling dizzy. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's rough. I actually had a girlfriend. I don't know how old you are, but I had a girlfriend back in high school. She was, at the time, there wasn't like POTS. That wasn't a subcategory. But she had dysautonomia, and she would pass out in the shower like frequently in the mornings. It was scary. It's a scary thing to deal with, especially when it's somebody that you love or somebody that you're connected with, for sure. But she can get better, dude. She can get better. There are steps to getting better. Make sure that she's consuming a lot of sodium, a lot of hydration, a lot of fluids, water, sodium. You said mate, so I'm going to assume that you're either from Australia or you're from the UK. So if they have Element, LMNT, that's the formula that I like the most. I'm trying to get in touch with Redmond Salt to possibly be a sponsor to the channel. We'll see if that works out. We'll see if that happens. I see you working out and doing normal life. Yeah, dude. I work out, do normal life, but I'm 5 years past this, I'm 5 years past this. I'm 5 years past my diagnosis. I have a system that I work off of. Dude, I have a bunch of clients that have been able to do the same. A bunch of POTS clients that have been able to do the same. Yeah, I take on one-on-one clients. So if your girlfriend, needs help getting better, you can email me. Link is in description for my email. I think. No, I'm adding it right now. This is part of the reason why I'm trying to get my website done. I want to get my website done today. So my email is linked in the description. Australia. That was not a good Australian accent. I actually have a client in Australia. I have calls with her every Tuesday. Australia is the land where like everything can kill you. That's what us Americans say. There she is. Angela, what's up? The land where everything and anything can kill you. I actually, funny story. My this is interesting. My grandpa's brother. Is it my grandpa's brother? I think it's that. I think it's my grandpa's brother. My grandpa's brother, him and I had a deal that if I got a certain GPA in high school, or maybe it was a college, one of my years in college, whatever. If I got a certain GPA, he would give me money to go to Australia because for some reason I was infatuated. I was so interested in Australia. I wanted to go so bad, and he had been there a few times. And so I ended up getting the GPA, and he gave me the money, and I actually used the money to invest in a company that I was starting. So I never made it out to Australia, but I want to. You guys, ask me some questions on POTS syndrome. I don't have too much time today. We have been going live for about 2 hours recently, each time. Definitely don't have that today. So right now, I literally am just about to pay for Squarespace to start this website. So I can put in client testimonials. You guys can actually see proof in the pudding. Give you guys some more insight, maybe do a newsletter or something. Yeah, that's something that I've definitely lacked on when it comes to this, but it is what it is. So go ahead and ask questions, guys. Rapid fire questions. Got about like 30 to 45 minutes left. If you haven't already, check out my last video that I just posted. I posted it this morning. It is labeled, what is it like, or what it's like dating somebody with POTS syndrome, in where I put my girlfriend through a Q&A at the end of the video of what it's like to date somebody with POTS syndrome. What are like some common questions that you guys that you guys wonder about? With POTS. Jake, what else does it what else does your girlfriend deal with, like besides dizziness, when it comes to POTS? I think that POTS can be like a really scary thing because of all of the social media around it, the Reddit forums, and the lack of information. Like, there's not even a lot of actual like medical advice on POTS, right? Because a lot of what you see is just the symptoms and how they can manifest, and the symptoms seem to be very scary. And then because the symptoms are scary and there's really no guidance, people don't know what to do. And I see oftentimes people being like, if I work out too hard or too much, then I have a crash, or like I feel like crap for a week or whatever, and they don't understand, and then they don't continue to like work out or anything like that because they don't understand their threshold, and they don't understand how to actually get back to being active. And that's like the main driver of like, exercise is one of the things that they know for certain that helps with POTS syndrome and dysautonomia in general. And so some advices or some tips that I have for you guys is to start out really slow and start out way slower than you think. I've talked about in so many lives before and in videos that exercise, you have to stop being so one-dimensional with the way that you think about exercise and thinking that that just means going to the gym, hitting exercise machines, or like doing some formal types of cardio. There's so many different ways to start getting your activity level back up that can actually benefit you if you're somebody with POTS, in terms of like getting your steps in, what kind of like yoga you could do at home, getting adaptations made by doing calisthenics, all of these different things. And doing calisthenics, not so like, you don't even have to do things in like 3 sets of 15, 3 sets of 5, 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 12, 4 sets of 8, whatever. You can look at it as in doing a certain amount of reps in a time domain too. Like EMOMs are one of my favorite things to do to get people reconditioned. And EMOM would just be like, you set a clock or you can go on and get this thing called like SmartWatt timer or any other timer, and you do EMOM 5. So that's 5 minutes. Every minute on the minute, you're going to do 5 reps of something, and then you rest the rest of that time. So like if 5 reps took you 15 seconds, then you get to rest 45 seconds. On that next minute, you do it again, and you just keep that cycle up. That's one of my favorite ways to actually get cardiovascular conditioning done while making anaerobic adaptations as well. But I think when it comes to POTS, so many people are just so one-dimensional. They think that exercise just means going to the gym. And then there's so many anxieties surrounding going to the gym too for people with POTS, or just being in public, because they don't want to like be there and like be judged, or they're scared of like the possibility of having symptoms in public. And then what happens when I have this symptom in public? What are people going to think of me? Not really realizing, that the majority of people that you see in public, you're never, ever going to see again. So it doesn't even matter. And if they do think you're weird, or think that it's weird, whatever you're going through is weird, who gives a shit in the first place? Like, you have to give up you have to give up caring about what other people think. in general, like in life, stop giving a shit about what other people think. And to be honest with you too, like sometimes people are scared about like, what will my loved ones think if they see me in this position, if they think that I'm weak or they don't understand and blah, 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 blah. To be honest with you guys, like if they're not there to support you, if they can't be empathetic towards you or a little bit sympathetic or whatever, they're probably not the right people to have around anyways, right? Like those people suck, dude. The people who like who judge you or like who are there for you, but they're not actually there for you. It's not the people that you want in your life anyways, right? You guys, I am creating my website right now as we speak. Georgie Patsatsia, so true. Sometimes I hate the gym and I feel like I can push to the limits. You can push to the limits, but it's dangerous, man. It's important to increase it gradually and slowly, not to have crashes. Yeah. 100%. And I think that so many people just don't actually understand what that means, right? Like a lot of people, like, look, I've seen people on both spectrums where they don't work out hard enough for what their tolerance or their capacity is, and they have POTS. And then I have people that work out too hard. And what's interesting about that is too hard can literally look like 2 to 5 sets of like hard leg extensions, and that person's wrecked. So always for me, even for people who are high functioning, and this is the hardest part for them, is I always say, hey, we're going to take some steps back so that you can progress forward. Because oftentimes, right, like, or not oftentimes, but I could give you all of this stuff because I think you're capable of it and you might be capable of it, but we're playing a fine line game here, right? We're playing a game that if I give you too much, you could crash out and you could be like on the couch. You could be out for like a few days or a couple weeks, and that's going to set us back even further. So we might as well start really slow, even though you don't like it. It's not fun. It's not super interesting or whatever. We might as well start really slow and creep our way back up and actually make continuous progress. We might as well do that instead of like taking chances, right? Angela Burns, what's the name of the walking thing you are going to get for your desk? It's just like a under desk walking pad. I don't know what brand I'm going to go with yet. That's why I haven't bought one yet. Actually, I haven't bought one yet because my cousin just bought one and she's like not using it. So I'm going to see if she'll do a trade, because I have a treadmill on the other side of this room in here and we don't use it at all. Like in winter, you know what? I probably shouldn't get rid of that treadmill. Thinking about maybe I could. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna talk to her about that first because she could use the walking pad too. But what I was gonna do was I was gonna see if she wanted to do an even trade, because the treadmill over there is worth like, you know, some money. So I was just gonna say, you want to take this and I'll take the pad because I need one for under my desk and you don't have a desk. I'm assuming she doesn't have a desk. Or I'll buy one because they're like $125. They're not that much money. So, yeah, I don't know yet. Katie Fitch, is what you have dangerous? I have no idea what it is. It's not dangerous. I mean, there's a lot of people that are scared and have, health anxiety with pots, and they think that their world is coming to an end. And it feels that way. It feels dangerous. It feels scary, especially when you're in the beginning of it. But no, it's not dangerous. There's nothing like just pots. You guys don't get it twisted. Just pots is not dangerous. If you have pots accompanied with other comorbidities, okay, maybe there's some danger associated with that. So please, let's not play the games today. Okay. I don't feel like playing any games. Awesome. Cool. Yep. All right. So I'm building out my freaking website right now too. Whoa. I use Squarespace's AI. Holy cow. I use Squarespace's AI to build this. Holy cow. Katie said, oh, good. Yeah, it is good. It's a good thing that it's not dangerous. Yeah. But it's a scary thing to go through. It's not easy. It is not easy. It's not an easy thing to go through. There's a lot to it. Like there's the emotional aspect. There's in the beginning when you have nothing, no information on it or whatever. When you have no information on it, it's difficult because it takes a long time to get diagnosed with it. You have to see a bunch of specialists because doctors themselves, like a GP or, they don't really know much about it. So they can't really give you the diagnosis and stuff. So it takes a long time generally. Sorry you have to go through it though. Hey, don't be sorry to me. I don't think POTS is that, like I'm on the other side. I would say that I'm recovered. I deal with symptoms sometimes, but it's not a big deal to me. Go watch my last video, guys, if you're curious about like how I deal with POTS. I'm a little bit more open in that video than I have been. Like I'm more transparent at least than I have been in other videos about stuff. Because I'm talking to my girlfriend about it and how it like affects our relationship, and it doesn't affect our relationship, but yeah. Go watch that video. Go watch that video. You guys, check this out. I'm going to show you my banner that I got designed. Okay. This is the proof, which the proof just means like this is the before I actually order it, right? Check this out. I don't know if you guys can see it. Do you guys like this colorway, this color scheme? Okay. The red, or do you like this? My girlfriend is a fan of the black. I don't know how I feel about the black, to be honest, but I also do kind of like the black. What do you guys like? What do you guys like better? I think I like the red, dude. I think I like the red. I'm not gonna lie. Georgie Patsatsia, be a little better than yesterday. That's the goal. Absolutely. Better than yesterday. That's the goal. If you took 5 steps out of bed yesterday, take 6 or 7 today. It's exactly right. See, you're not looking at this one-dimensionally, Georgie. Good on you, man. What do you guys like better? Do you like that red one or do you like the black one? I'm leaning towards the red, dude. I think that the red is like, it's an interesting colorway. Your quote, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate you, dog. I'm just out here. I'm really just trying to help other people live their best life, dude. You know, I think what's interesting is that in this POTS world, right? It's like, well, in the chronic illness space, there's a lot of people trying to take advantage of people who are chronically ill. And it's pretty obvious too. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are trying to take advantage of it. And like, obviously, I make my money from coaching. You know, I don't make all my money from coaching, but I make a decent amount of money from coaching, you know, in person and online. And that's part of how I feed my family. And I need to charge for my services. But at the same time, it's like, I really am out here trying to help people. Like, that's the main goal here, is help people live more fulfilling lives. I've been through what you guys have been through. So I want to help you get better through what you're going through. And I can relate. I know I don't always seem super relatable online, but you know, I try to do my best. I try to do my best. All right. So the AI on Squarespace is pretty freaking nuts. It's like, it's giving me 6 different ways to word the description of my website, like with the information that I gave it, which is insane. That's nuts. I've never ever dealt with anything like this. I've never seen this before. The first one is neutral. As a strength and conditioning health coach, I, with personal experience living with POTS syndrome, I specialize in helping individuals with chronic illness lead active and fulfilling lifestyles through fitness. The second one is, with a sprinkle of determination and a dash of sweat, we're flipping the script on chronic illness, one workout at a time at the POTS solution. As a strength and condition, this is professional. As a strength and conditioning health coach diagnosed with POTS syndrome several years ago, I'm dedicated to empowering those with chronic illness to lead active and fulfilling lifestyles through fitness. The friendly one is, as a strength and conditioning health coach living with POTS syndrome, I empower fellow chronically ill individuals to live active, fulfilling lives with the POTS solution. As a strength and conditioning health coach living with POTS syndrome for over 5 years, I specialize in helping individuals with chronic illness lead active and fulfilling lifestyles through fitness. Quirky, as a POTS syndrome warrior turned fitness guru, I shake up the chronically ill community with my workout wizardry, guiding them to a more vibrant and energized existence. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know which one to choose. Gosh, this is so crazy, dude. Appreciate it. You're doing a great job. Keep going. Thanks, man. Doing my best. Just doing my best. You guys, if you are looking for a coach, if you're looking to work with me one-on-one, I'm only taking on 8 more clients. 8 more clients is about all I can handle right now until I officially have somebody to take over my business at the gym. Until I have that, I can only take on 8 more clients. So if you are interested, hit me up in email, which is in my description, jqfit1@gmail.com. I'm making a lot of changes. And if you feel like you don't want to do one-on-one training, one-on-one coaching or whatever, then I do have the other option. The link is also in the description for this, that I have a positive POTS forum and community where you get a workout program. You get a bunch of resources on how to increase your heat tolerance, elimination diets, how to, supplements to use, how to hydrate properly, all those things in this app. And you get a bunch of stuff with the app too. I always forget to mention this, but it tracks your metrics. It tells you how much weight you lifted, in a day, like the volume. You have access to talk to other people that are in the coaching group. So many benefits for being in this program. I can't speak highly enough of it. And we have some people in there who are moderators, which is really cool. Or not moderators, but people who are in there frequently and like comment on other people's stuff frequently. So you have people to talk to if you have questions. If I can't answer them or if I don't answer them, then there are other people in there with experience too, which is freaking amazing. It's awesome. And that only costs $50 a month. And I've made it so that you have 3 free days of the app too. So go check it out. Otherwise, like I said, if you need more help than that, if you need one-on-one coaching, I'm only taking on 8 more clients. That's about all I can handle at this time until I get more resources to help me out. So, and if none of that, subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to support in a different way, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I literally give out all of my knowledge and information on this website, and you can do with it what you will, I feel like I give away a lot of my experience of working with other people that have pots in this. And people don't take advantage of it. People, I don't know. So the other thing is that Mick Saltsy and I, one of the dudes that's super active in the app, are going live every Saturday and Sunday. Go live every Saturday and Sunday at like 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And he's one of my clients that like just basically got over pot syndrome, just got on the other side of recovery. So, yeah, those are really good lives, in my opinion. Jazan, yo, I take full advantage of everything you share, and I'm very grateful. Hey, let's go. And Jazan, you are still labeled, or you still have the moderator role on the channel. I thought that would be something that I'd have to add, new every single time. But Jazan is the moderator here, so don't be starting and talking no negative bullshit, because she's gonna kick you out. She's gonna put you on timeout. Angela, I'm so happy to have started one-on-one coaching with you. It's already making a huge difference in my mindset. Good. I'm happy about that. That's sweet. That's great. Thanks for saying that. Yes, ma'am. So I don't have that much time today, guys. I'm going to have to get off of here soon. So give me some questiones that you want answered. Give me some stuff. Like maybe you want like experience from me working with clients, like, what you would like to hear, or like, how do I work with somebody? What do I do in certain circumstances? Stuff like that. Give me some questions, because it's dealing with pot syndrome Q&A. So ask me something like that. I've also sent you my own upcoming video since it sounded like you were looking for inspiration on Insta. Thanks, Jazan. I appreciate that. I guess you and I aren't in competition together because you do stuff in Dutch. Yeah, I got a bug up my ass yesterday and today about what's it called? About filming videos. So I put out a video this morning. Obviously, I filmed a video yesterday, and I have started filming 2 videos today. So I'm going to try to post 1 more, if not 2 more videos this week, actually, to accompany the live videos. And then hopefully my website is done by today. Hopefully I can finish this website by today so I can put that in the description too, get a bunch of testimonials from people, and then put them up so you guys can see that this stuff is just not bullshit, right? Like, I'm not making things up. So I think that'll be big. Erica B, what's up, dude? I was actually going to text you yesterday. Funny enough, I meant to text you yesterday. That's crazy. I was going to see how you been. How art thou? Good. I just finished working out. Love the rower. Wish I started that earlier. Heck yeah, dude. And you have the cool one, the one that actually uses water. How are you? I'm good. Very good. Busy. Busy. Staying busy. I heard a fly. I heard a motherfucking fly. Jazan, what do you think of HRV and apps that will work with it, like Visible and Weltery? I actually don't know anything about those apps. I've never heard of those apps. What do I think of HRV? It's an interesting question. I think HRV can be a useful tool, but I think it's highly overstated. So the interesting thing about HRV is that there's no like standard to go off of, right? Your HRV is very unique to you. If you guys watch if you watch my interview with Dr. Justine Lucchini, the owner of Thirdsy, she talks about this more in depth. But what's also interesting is that the early research on pots used HRV as a metric, but I don't remember if they used each person's individual average HRV or upper end of HRV in order to make programming. I can't remember that. The point is that HRV is interesting because since there's no specific data to go off of as like a good HRV, it's hard to make recommendations based off of that. And it's also hard to make because it can be detrimental in the sense that like if you see somebody else has like 150 HRV and you only have like an 80, you might assume that your HRV is bad in comparison to somebody else's, but that doesn't mean anything. You know, it doesn't mean anything. Your HRV is very unique to you, and the reasons for it to be up, like higher and lower, there's so many different reasons for that. Like there's so many, like how much sodium did you consume, like all the things that we talk about normally. But I do think that if you're able to grab averages over time, this would take a lot of data collection and a lot of time to do. If you're able to grab averages over time, you know, like you have kept volume of training and your stress low and, you know, all this stuff, because stress is a big contributor to what your HRV is reading as. If you're able to grab averages over time as a data point, and then you base stuff off of that, I think it could be a useful metric. I think it could be useful. Like the Whoop strap and stuff, I think is like kind of a scam, you know, because it does grab averages and it gives you monthly reports and it gives you yearly reports even. But also, I don't think that HRV is necessarily something that you should be basing your training off of or your workout or things that there's so many things. There's so many. I don't know. There's so many. I guess my actual answer is I don't think it's useful. Because like every single like positive thing that I can think of for HRV, I think of a caveat to it, right? So like even if you get those data points where it's like, this is my average over time, this seems to be a good number for me. I don't think that you should not train because your HRV has tanked for one day, because maybe you miss sleep, or maybe you're getting a little bit of virus, or maybe you had a little bit less nutrition. Like my HRV today, because I have my 8 sleep and I do look at the data on my 8 sleep sometimes, like to check my sleep, how my sleep is doing, because I'm really a nerd about sleep. My HRV today was like 50 points higher than yesterday. And I cannot pinpoint why. Like 0% of me can pinpoint why. I have no idea. So, yeah. I don't know if that answers your question. I think that was like really, really complicated. I'm going to look into those 2 apps though that you're talking about, because I've never heard of them. If you need me to, Erica B, if you need me to write a review for your website, I will leave a POS one if you need. Are you serious? A piece of shit one? I'm just kidding. I know you mean positive. Yeah, I would love if you would do that. I was going to reach out to you for it anyway. What are your views? Thank you. Thank you for that. What are your views on compression as a way to manage symptoms? My views on compression. Okay. Hot take. I have never had a client who has benefited from compression physiologically more than aesthetically. Does that make sense? Like I've had clients that have had like bluish feet, or what they would think to be tinted blue, or like, you know, semi-swollen feet or legs, and that's like an uncomfortable thing, so I understand that. But I've never had anybody who like had lesser symptoms that like are actually bothersome in terms of dizziness or presyncope and things of that nature from wearing compression. I've never had a client who has ever noted having better symptoms in those areas. Mostly the way that it benefited their symptoms had to do with like their feet not being cold or turning blue, or like having the little bit of swelling that they normally have. So yes. I don't mind the legs ones, but now they are pushing compression around the stomach, and boy, I don't want to do that. Yeah, I'd be really hesitant to do that. If you guys remember, a big trend was what are those called? What are those things called? The things that like chicks put around their stomachs. What are those called? What are they called? I think it's like it's like to make your waist smaller is what they would say. Like to make your waist seem smaller or to corsets. Yeah, a corset. Um so corsets used to be really popular, but I guess supposedly, and somebody fact check me on this, but supposedly it actually caused like intestinal damage or like restructured the intestines for a lot of people. Like it ended up being really bad. So yeah, I'd be careful about compression. I don't think that compression is really all that, stuff. With compression, I need less fluids and less salt, and I can stand for much longer. I could see that. I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing though if you need less fluids and less salt, though if you're doing that, because these are things that like normal people should be doing anyway. Like people who are healthy should be taking in a good amount of fluids and a good amount of sodium. So, my cardio, when my stomach symptoms are bad, I can't wear compression. It makes it worse. Jazand, my cardiologist has me wearing thigh highs and arm sleeves. I can't stand stomach compression, so I said no to it. Erica B, by the way, I watched your video earlier. Maybe you should have an interview with your partner sometime. I think it would benefit to show what a positive influence partner is like. Interesting that you said that because I actually did think about doing that. However, I think what would be best for that is if you guys all came up with questions for that. I think that's what would be best because I wouldn't even know what to ask her. You know what I mean? Like, I think Heather is like one of the best things that has happened to me in life in general in terms of like supportive partner because everything business wise that I've been able to do, everything podcast wise that I've been able to do, everything in the past 3 years that I've been able to accomplish has highly been dependent on her and like her being supportive and being there and not giving me shit for making certain moves and not allowing me because I don't, but like allowing me the space to be able to take risks to do certain things. So a lot of successes that I've had have had a lot to do with her. Also not asking her medical questions because I know she works in that, but I mean how to be a supportive partner. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think that would be great. Yeah, throw them questions down, you guys. If you want me to talk to Heather about this stuff, I will for sure do that. She'll sit down with me. I could do a live with her probably in the next couple of weeks. Or no, in the next couple of days. She'd probably be down to sit down. She'd be down to clown. How disabled? How? How disabled has she seen you since you are basically not disabled now? Not at all. She hasn't. I mean, I've never been like disabled by this. I was never like bedridden or in a wheelchair or anything like that. I did have like, I was like having to sit down really frequently and lay down frequently and like super exhausted and stuff. Like I did go through that, like this extreme fatigue and stuff. But I didn't, but I was never like disabled by it, Was she with you when you got the diagnosis? Nope, she was not. Heather and I started dating when I was like years past being better. Like, I'm talking, I got the diagnosis it's probably longer. It's probably been longer than I actually have been talking about. Because I'm 31. Oh my gosh. It's been like 7 years, guys, since I got the diagnosis. 7 or 8 years. I had Caden when I was 24. Yeah. Yeah, it's been 7 or 8 years. So actually I've been not telling the truth about the timeline. I've been saying like 5 years, 5 or 6 years. It's been 7 or 8. After how much time did you tell her and how did she respond? I think I might have told her. Within one of our first 3 dates, maybe. Yeah, I think within our first 3 dates. But I'm very high functioning, and she knew about it. I was really surprised. She actually knew what POTS syndrome was because she works in hospital rather than being like a GP or a general practitioner or a provider, something like that. She actually knew what it was. And I think she was like surprised that I had POTS syndrome. I think a live needs to happen where you discuss this, LOL. She seems so chill and level-headed. Yeah. Yeah, I think a live would be good. I know she doesn't work tomorrow, but I don't know if we have Izzy tomorrow. I don't know if we have her kid. That's a good idea, though. I'm definitely going to go live one of these days with her, for sure. Yeah. But I'll need questions from you guys for Shizzle. For Shizzle my Nizzle. Sorry to throw her out there. No, I think it's a really good idea. I think it's a super good idea. I mean, she pops up on my actual podcast with me. We do a bunch of episodes together. So I don't think that she'd have any issue coming on here to talk about it. But she also, I mean, if you guys think that I'm intense, like Heather is also, she kind of matches my intensity, and she doesn't really have like a lot of sympathy for people. She's kind of like, sympathy, like she's empathetic towards people, but she's also like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Because I know how helpful my husband has been, and I feel like not all partners with POTS understand or know what to do. Yeah, I would agree. I would actually think that most people who have a partner with POTS are like super unempathetic or unsympathetic. I would actually lean towards that way. With this, that a lot of people aren't sympathetic or empathetic at all. And it's like, it's hard to expect people to be because they have never had the same experience. They could never relate to what we have all gone through, so it's really hard. I was lucky enough to have a partner that, to have a girlfriend that works in hospital. So she sees it, and even then she's not sympathetic. Like she's pretty hardcore. You know what I mean? Like Heather, sorry, there's something in my sandal. I'm trying to get it out. Heather is very much the person that's like like problem solve it, figure it out. You know what I mean? And that's what she expects of me. And I do it. So yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to get off now. I got to handle some stuff. It's a little bit shorter of a live, so I apologize for that, but I appreciate you guys hopping on with me. Remember, if you are looking to get coaching, I only have 8 spots open right now. I opened a couple more up, but I'm only taking on 8 more people. That's about all that I can handle right now until, again, I can get somebody to cover my business at the gym and I can focus more on this, as a full-time thing. So thanks so much for watching. If you do want to inquire on one-on-one coaching, hit my email. It's in the link in the description, or it's in the description. And I hope you guys got something out of this. I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Likely that will be tomorrow. Peace out. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. Erica says, have a nice day. You have a nice day too.